Give it to me like.
Section 1. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall any person be denied the equal protection of the laws. Everyone has the right to liberty and security of a person. No one shall be denied of his liberty save in the following cases and in accordance with the procedure prescribed by law. The lawful detention of a person after conviction by a competent court. Section 2. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures of whatever nature, and for any purpose shall be unavailable. And no search warrant or warrant of arrest shall issue except upon probable cause to be determined personally by the judge after examination. Under oath or affirmation of the complement and the witnesses he may produce, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Section 3, Number 1. The privacy of communication and corresponding shall be inviolable except upon lawful order of the court, or when public safety or order requires otherwise as prescribed by law. Legally, the right of privacy as a basic law, which includes the right of persons to be free from unwarranted publicity. Unwarranted appreciations, one's personality, publicizing one's private affairs without a legitimate public concern. Section 3, Number 2. Any evidence obtained in a violation of this or the preceding section shall be inadmissible for any purpose in any proceeding. Section 4. No law shall be passed abridging the freedom of speech, of expression, or the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and petition the government for redress of grievances. Freedom of expression is not found, but the rights included face speech, face past, and conduct such as peaceful assembly and petitioning for redress can be understood as instances of the mother right, freedom of expression.
Section 5. No shall be made respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. The free exercise and enjoyment of religious profession and worship, without discrimination or preference, shall forever be allowed. No religious test shall be required for the exercise of civil or the political rights. This is the right of the freedom of the religion and beliefs and inherent the protecting under Article 3, Section 5 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution, which provides that no law shall be made respecting an establishment of religion and prohibiting for the exercise thereof. Section 6. The liberty of abode of changing the same within the limits prescribed by law shall not be impaired except upon lawful order of the court. Neither shall the right to travel be impaired except the interest of national security, public safety, or public health, as may provide by law. The petition for a writ of amparo is the remedy available to person whose right to life, liberty, and security is violated or threatened with violation by an unlawful act of omission of public official and employee or of a private individual or entity. Section 7. The right of people to information on matters of public concern shall be recognized. Access to official record and to documents and papers pertaining to official acts, transactions, or decisions, as well as to government research data used as basis for policy development, shall be accorded the citizen, subject to such limitations as may be provided by law. Section 8, the right of people, including those employed in public and private sectors, to form unions, associations, or societies for purposes not contrary to law, shall not be abridged. It is the right for workers and employees to form, join, or assist unions, organizations, or associations for purposes and collective bargaining and negotiation and for mutual aid and protection. Section 9, private property shall not be taken for public use without just compensation. Article 3, Section 9 of the Constitution state that private property shall not be taken for public use without just compensation. Toward this end, the state shall ensure that owners of real property acquired for national government infrastructure project are promptly paid just compensation. The Fifth Amendment to the Constitution provides that private property shall not be taken for public use without just compensation. An implied contract to make payment therefore has been held to arise from such a taking. Section 10, no law impairing the obligation of contract shall be passed. Contract is impaired only if the relative possession of the parties on contract is distributed by the operation of a tasking statute. Declares that no state shall pass any bill of attainder, ex post facto law, or law impairing the obligation of contracts. The obligation of a contract here spoken of is illegal, not to mere moral obligation. It is the law which binds to party and perform his undertaking.
Section 11. Free access to the courts and quasi-judicial bodies and adequate legal assistance shall not be denied to any person by reason of poverty. But there are government requirements which may reason by poverty. A person may denied access to the courts for the protection of his life, liberty, and property. Section 12, number 1. Any person under investigation for the commission of the offense shall have the right to be informed of his right to remain silent and to have competent and independent counsel, preferably of his own choice. If the person cannot afford the service of counsel, he must be provided with one. This right cannot be waived except in writing and in the presence of counsel. Section 12, number 2. No torture, force, violence, threat, intimidation, or any other means which violate the free will shall be used against him. Secret detention places, solitary, incommunicado, or other similar forms of detention are prohibited. Section 12, number 3. Any confession or admission obtained in violation of this or section 17 hereof shall be inadmissible in evidence against him. Section 12, number 4. The law shall provide for penal and civil sanctions for violation of the section as well as compensation to and rehabilitation of victims or torture or similar practices of their families. Section 13. All persons except those charged with offenses punishable by reclusion perpetua, when evidence of guilt is strong, shall before conviction be valuable by sufficient sureties, or be released of recognizance as may be provided by law. The right to bail should not be impaired even when the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus is suspended. Excessive bail shall not be required. Section 14. No person shall be heard to answer for a criminal offense without due process of law. Section 14, number 1. No person shall be held to answer for a criminal offense without due process of law. Section 14, number 2. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall be presumed innocent until the contrary is proved, and shall enjoy the right to be heard by himself and counsel, to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation against him, to have a speedy, impartial, and public trial, to meet the witnesses face to face, and to have compulsory process to secure the attendance of witnesses and production of evidence in his behalf. However, after arrangement, trial may proceed notwithstanding the absence of the accused prevailed that he has been duly notified as his failure to appear of unjustifiable. Section 15. The privilege of the unit of habeas corpus shall not be suspended except in cases of invention or revelation when the public safety requires it. Section 16. All persons shall have the right to a speedy disposition of their cases before all judicial, quasi-judicial, or administrative bodies.
Section 17. No person shall be compelled to appear witnesses against himself. Section 18, number 1. No person shall be detained solely by reason of his political beliefs and aspiration. Number 2. No involuntary servitude in any form shall exist except as a punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted. Section 19. Excessive fine shall not be imposed, nor cruel, degrading, or human punishment inflicted, neither shall the death penalty be imposed unless or compelling reasons involving heinous crimes the Congress hereafter provides for it. Any death penalty already imposed shall be reduced to reclusion perpetua. Number 2. The employment of physical, psychological, or degrading punishment against any prisoner or detained, or the use of substandard or indicate penal facilities under subhuman conditions shall be dealt with by a law.
Section 20. No person shall be imprisoned for debt or non-payment or a poll tax. This provision is enshrined in our Constitution as one of the rights of an individual. This provision prohibits the enactment of a law criminalizing non-payment of debt or poll tax. Section 21. No person shall be twice put in jeopardy of punishment for the same offense. If an act is punished by a law and ordinance, conviction of acquittal under either shall constitute a bar to another prosecution for the same act. It also follows the audi alterum partem rule, which means that no person can be punished for the same offense more than once. And if a person is punished twice for the same offense, it is termed double jeopardy. This means that if a person is prosecuted or convicted once cannot be punished again for that criminal act. Section 22. No ex post facto law or bill of tender shall be enacted. Ex post facto means happening or promulgated after the fact if visited rights or obligations per contracts are not impaired and a favorable to the accused, they are okay.
Give it to me like